She wants to finish what Diana started, but she can't quite outrun her own past. People are turning on Meghan Markle, and here's the long list of reasons why.
Before she stole Prince Harry's heart, Meghan Markle played the part of ambitious paralegal Rachel Zane in USA's Suits. In 2017, she walked away from her breakout role to walk down the aisle and become British royalty. But what was she like before all the fame and fortune? From her feminist ideals at age 11 to that stint on a game show that she'd rather not talk about, here is Markle's Once Upon a Time. Markle fell in love with acting at the Immaculate Heart All-Girls Catholic High School in Los Angeles. She starred in several school productions before graduating in 1999. A former schoolmate told People, Meghan was really charismatic and was a very hard worker and very focused, and you could tell she was going to do something special with her life. She had the talent and focus to back it up, and you could tell she knew the work it would take, and she was willing to put in the work. It seems Markle was destined to be on TV. After all, she's been around it her entire life. Markle's father was a lighting director and director of photography for Fox's cult classic Married with Children. Markle told Esquire it was an interesting environment for a preteen kid. There were a lot of times when my dad would say, Meg, why don't you go and help with the craft services room over there? This is just a little off color for your 11-year-old eyes. In 1995, Markle saw a commercial for ivory-clear dishwashing liquid with the following tagline:
Women are fighting greasy pots and pans.
That day, a feminist was born. Young Meghan thought the ad was sexist and even got to appear on a Nickelodeon show and express her views.
I don't think it's right for kids to grow up thinking these things, that just mom does everything.
Her father encouraged her to write letters, and that she did, mailing notes to First Lady Hillary Clinton and to powerhouse attorney Gloria Allred. Her efforts appear to pay off. Roughly a month later, manufacturer Procter & Gamble changed women to people.
People are fighting greasy pots and pans with ivory clear.
Although her first on-screen appearance was as a background nurse on a 2002 episode of daytime soap General Hospital, Markle's first speaking role was in CBS's short-lived science fiction legal drama Century City in 2004. Acting alongside Lost Nestor Campbell and Oscar winner Viola Davis, Markle made the most of her line.
Here's to Tom Montero, who had the vision to install this amazing virtual assistant.
Okay.
From 2005 to 2009, there was no escaping NBC's hit game show Deal or No Deal, and if you happened to catch an episode in 2008, you might have glimpsed Markle smiling through her pain as a briefcase girl. She told Esquire, I would end up standing up there forever in these terribly uncomfortable and inexpensive 5-inch heels just waiting for someone to pick my number so I could go and sit down. While a struggling actor trying to pay the bills, Markle did a little bit of everything, including freelance calligraphy for Robin Thicke and Paula Patton's wedding, and Dolce & Gabbana's celebrity holiday correspondence. In a 2015 essay for Elle UK, Markle wrote about creating her identity and finding her voice as a mixed-race woman. Markle's father is white and her mother is African American, and the actress thought being ethnically nondescript would help her land roles. Unfortunately, she said, that wasn't the case. I wasn't black enough for the black roles, and I wasn't white enough for the white ones, leaving me somewhere in the middle as the ethnic chameleon who couldn't book a job. Markle felt like her role on USA's critically acclaimed Suits was created specifically for her. The show's producers weren't looking for someone mixed, nor someone white or black for that matter. They were simply looking for Rachel. Suits creator Aaron Korsh apparently knew true love when he saw it. Realizing Markle and Prince Harry's relationship was blossoming, the decision was made to write her character off the show just in case royal duties called. Korsh told Radio 4's Today, I had a decision to make because I didn't want to intrude and ask her, hey, what's going on and what are you going to do? So collectively with the writers, we decided to take a gamble that these two people were in love and it was going to work out. When asked if Markle would be able to handle the spotlight of royal life, Korsh left no doubt. She is just a natural in front of the camera, and her intelligence and poise, I mean, if anyone could handle it, I'd say it was Meghan.
Thomas Markle and Doria Ragland made headlines from time to time thanks to the drama-filled stories about their daughter. But there's more to this family story than meets the eye. In their early years as a couple, Thomas Markle and Doria Ragland may have been happy together, but being a biracial couple wasn't easy. As Meghan candidly revealed to Elle in 2015, they moved into a house in the Valley in LA, to a neighborhood that was leafy and affordable. What it was not, however, was diverse. There was my mom, caramel in complexion with her light-skinned baby in tow, being asked where my mother was since they assumed she was the nanny. But despite the hardships, Doria and Thomas put on a united front for Meghan, protecting her as much as they could. The future Duchess shared, they crafted the world around me to make me feel like I wasn't different, but special. When she was 7 years old, she wanted a boxed set of Barbie dolls that included an entire family, but white dolls and black dolls were sold separately. She recalled, "I don't remember coveting one over the other. I just wanted one." On Christmas morning, swathed in glitter-flecked wrapping paper, there I found my heart family, a black mom doll, a white dad doll, and a child in each color. My dad had taken the sets apart and customized my family. Meghan also recalled not knowing what to do when she was asked to fill out a census card in the 7th grade, and eventually leaving the ethnicity box blank. She added, "My dad said the words that have always stayed with me. If that happens again, you draw your own box." Back in 2015, Meghan told Elle how her parents' love had transcended all sorts of barriers, and she shared, "Growing up in a homogeneous community in Pennsylvania, the concept of marrying an African-American woman was not on the cards for my dad, but he saw beyond what was put in front of him in that small-sized and perhaps small-minded town. Unfortunately, their relationship wasn't meant to last, and the couple eventually split in 1987, when Meghan was 6 years old." Looking back at their separation, Thomas gave a snippet of insight into what caused his and Doria's divorce when he revealed in Channel 5's Thomas Markle My Story documentary that it came down to two main factors. He explained, "It went well for a while, but I wasn't home enough. Doria had other interests as well. What was going on in that household at the time wasn't making me happy. So at first, she wanted to move back into the city, and that is what happened. Then we divorced after that. The whole family split up at that time. Doria moved with Meghan to a nice little house, and I would see her on weekends and whenever I could." When Thomas spoke about his famous daughter in Channel 5's documentary, he painted their bond as something truly special that began the moment she was born. Recalling her birth, he gushed, "I couldn't have been a happier man. She was born as a C-section, so I got to hold her first. I fell in love with her and never stopped. She became the most special thing in my life."
And I fell in love with her, and I had been that way for 40 years.
Despite the controversy surrounding their relationship today, it seems like Meghan and Thomas had a strong bond. After her parents split, Meghan remained close to both her mom and dad, even telling Esquire in 2018 that she'd visit her father at work on the set of Married with Children every single day after school for 10 years. And while the future Duchess of Sussex wasn't allowed to watch the show, she would give the screen a kiss during the end credits when her father's name would appear. In the same interview, Meghan also gave her dad props for helping with her acting career. She explained, "I will always find my light, no question, and if I don't, I'll know, because my dad will be the first person to call me and say like, you need to have him bring another 2K in, and why aren't you using this sort of lighting gel?" Growing up with divorced parents is never easy, but according to Meghan's half-sister, Samantha Markle, Meghan supposedly enjoyed the divorce because she got the best out of both homes. Speaking out in Quest Red's 2019 documentary, Meghan and Harry, A Royal Baby Story, Samantha noted, "The divorce was handled by my father and Doria quite well. I didn't notice that Meghan was adversely affected by that. I think to the contrary. She enjoyed having two households. She had whatever she wanted materially and a great circle of friends. I do not think she wanted for anything or noticed the divorce per se." Whether that's true or not, Thomas and Doria's 1987 divorce did expose Meghan to a new set of uncomfortable questions. Writing for Elle in 2015, she recalled a specific encounter with a close-minded dorm mate she met in her first week at university. As the Duchess recalled, the roomie asked if her parents were still together, before adding, "You said your mom is black and your dad is white, right? And they're divorced? Well, that makes sense." Meghan went on to admit, "To this day, I still don't fully understand what she meant by that, but I understood the implication, and I drew back. I was scared to open this Pandora's box of discrimination, so I sat stifled, swallowing my voice." Following their divorce, Thomas Markle and Doria Ragland co-parented Meghan Markle for many years. As Vanity Fair reported, Meghan split her time between both parents before eventually moving in with her dad full-time during her adolescence. And while at 18 she may have drifted slightly away from her father, both Thomas and Doria remained in Meghan's life well into her 30s. Plus, they appeared to be amicable with one another. So much so that, despite any ups and downs they may have experienced behind the scenes, the exes publicly presented a united front leading up to their daughter's headline-making royal wedding. In November 2017, when it was announced that Prince Harry and Meghan were engaged, Thomas and Doria even chose to issue a joint statement to express their joy, writing, "We are incredibly happy for Meghan and Harry. Our daughter has always been a kind and loving person. To see her union with Harry, who shares the same qualities, is a source of great joy for us as parents. We wish them a lifetime of happiness and are very excited for their future together." Meghan's relationship with her father may have frayed, but her bond with her mom continues to strengthen. Doria has been an integral part of Meghan's life with Prince Harry from the moment she met her future son-in-law in 2016. Despite calling the encounter, quote, "a little surreal," according to Express, Ragland was supportive of the union and was right by her daughter's side on her wedding day. Vanity Fair noted that she also, quote, "got on extremely well with Prince Charles and Duchess Camilla." When baby Archie was born in May 2019, Ragland was a big help with the baby, according to Us Weekly, and even moved into to Meghan and Harry's California home in July 2020 to be more hands-on with her grandchild. Not surprisingly, when baby Lilibet arrived in June 2021, Raglan was reportedly right by the couple's side. A source told US Weekly, "She's been helping out at the house and her hands-on support is a major bonus. Meghan's so grateful to have her mom to lean on, and Harry just adores her." In fact, according to the Daily Mail, Raglan's bond with Harry has apparently become so strong that he turns to her for advice. According to one insider, Meghan has always trusted her completely, but she has become a rock to Harry, who of course lost his own mother so young. Doria has a great warmth and is very motherly, but she isn't someone who seeks attention, and for Harry, her discretion and silence mean the world.
Meghan Markle has worn many public hats since marrying Prince Harry, but she's kept pretty quiet about her own family. Here are just a few of the Markle family's darkest secrets. Meghan's relationship with her estranged father, Thomas Markle, came under intense media scrutiny as soon as she and Prince Harry announced their engagement in November 2017. It reached a fever pitch in the days leading up to the wedding in May 2018, when the Daily Mail exposed how Thomas teamed up with a photography agency in Los Angeles to stage photos related to Thomas's wedding preparations. Pictures of the father of the bride lounging at Starbucks, visiting an internet cafe to research Harry and Meghan, exercising to lose weight, and getting measured to fit into his wedding attire were all staged, the site reported. The 17-year-old pictured measuring Thomas wasn't a tailor. He was a student working at a nearby party supply store who was recruited to participate, as he told the Daily Mail. The student admitted, "It was really strange. This big American guy got the measuring tape out of his pocket and he was saying things in English. The photographer he was with stepped back to the street and started taking pictures." Thomas later told Good Morning Britain that he jumped at the opportunity to stage the pictures in order to, quote, change his image, wanting to turn the negative perception the public had of him into a positive one. Admitting his mission completely failed, Thomas said he felt bad about his mistake. The royal family, who had previously issued statements pleading with the paparazzi to leave Thomas alone, was reportedly embarrassed by the incident. After the unnecessary layer of spectacle that Thomas added to her royal wedding, which he ultimately didn't attend because of medical issues and embarrassment, according to TMZ, Meghan wrote a private letter to her dad pleading with him to stop cooperating with the press. In the note, Meghan said she felt absolutely blindsided by the pain her father was puppeteered into creating by the media.
I never thought that this would be easy, but I thought it would be fair. And that's the part that's really hard to reconcile.
She said that the lies her father was spreading about her with the help of the media have, quote, broken her heart into a million pieces, and claimed that she had only ever wanted to help him, whether it be financially, medically, or with the harassment he had claimed to her that he was experiencing, no thanks to the paparazzi. At the end of her letter, Meghan begged, "Please stop lying. Please stop creating so much pain. Please stop exploiting my relationship with my husband, and please stop taking the bait from the press." But he did the exact opposite. Thomas sold the letter to the Mail on Sunday, and the site published it for the world to see even more Markle family secrets. The Duchess later sued Associated Newspapers Limited, the owners of the site, for breach of privacy, and she won. According to Meghan's estranged half-sister, Samantha Markle, the Duchess of Sussex is allegedly responsible for hiding some family secrets of her own. In her first book, The Diary of Princess Pushy's Sister, Part 1, Samantha makes some startling claims about her sibling. Meghan is supposedly demanding and ungrateful for their father's early financial help. Samantha wrote, "He was paying for Meg to get a great education, and instead of showing gratitude, she was being belittling and controlling."
If you are interested in helping those less fortunate than yourself, it really should begin at home.
Samantha, who is significantly older than Meghan, said that there was a time when the younger sibling, quote, got whatever she wanted and needed from Thomas. Despite the fact that her book paints both Meghan and Prince Harry in a negative light, Samantha told Us Weekly that she didn't decide to write it to, quote, put garbage into the universe about her sister or her in-laws, saying, "Contrary to troll gossip and aggregate news rumors, my book has never been designed to attack my sister."
It never was a nasty slamming tell-all, but there's some juice, but there's a lot more to it.
Not all members of Meghan's family are willing to go on record with their names when they decide to share potentially damaging secrets about the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. Meghan and Prince Harry live closer to Meghan's family now that they have decided to live a more private life in the US. But an anonymous family member shared with Fox News that their move doesn't exactly mean Meghan will be contacting relatives to have playdates with their kids anytime soon. Responding to the idea sarcastically, the source responded, "Yeah, right after I set up a play date with Oprah Winfrey's family too. We're clearly in different social classes and we won't ever talk again." The insider also insinuated that Meghan now believes she is better than her family, and that they're not interested in having a relationship with her if it's going to be fake. The source went on to say, "You shouldn't have to be someone you're not or a certain class to be accepted and loved. I'm not chasing after someone that doesn't want to talk to me. I have my own family and we couldn't be happier sharing the love that we have." Meghan's lack of contact with her family is allegedly her choice, the family member said. Still, the insider did wish Harry and Meghan well. Whatever her intentions may be, Meghan's half-sister, Samantha Markle, certainly appears in the news often. In May 2018, her boyfriend, Mark Phillips, told TMZ that she had allegedly broken her ankle and fractured her knee in a car accident that happened while the couple was fleeing from paparazzi in Florida. Phillips claimed that while trying to ditch cars chasing them, he hit a concrete barrier. On May 17th, one day after TMZ's original report and 2 days before Prince Harry and Meghan's wedding, the Daily Mail reported that Florida police could find no evidence of the alleged events. In fact, Samantha and Phillips could have actually been charged with a hit-and-run misdemeanor, which could have resulted in as much as 2 months in jail or a few lesser charges. At the time, a lieutenant explained to the Daily Mail, "Even if they hit a stationary property such as a wall, under Florida law, you are required to report that to law enforcement." Samantha and Phillips don't appear to have been charged with anything, but the timing of the alleged accident seems a bit fishy. Meghan's father Thomas and her half-sister Samantha Markle are in the public eye often, but her half-brother Thomas Markle Jr. made some startling allegations of his own against his father in a 2018 interview with In Touch Weekly. Thomas Jr. claimed his father would snort cocaine in front of his kids during parties held in the 80s, but overall was very distant and absent often due to his busy work schedule, and seemed, quote, secretive, quiet, and grumpy whenever he was at home. He also alleged that Thomas Sr. took several trips to Thailand, allegedly to sleep with sex workers. Ultimately, Thomas Jr. called his relationship with his father frustrating and non-existent, and also echoed sister Samantha's claims that Thomas Sr. favored Meghan, saying, "My father didn't really have the time for me and Samantha like he did for Meg." According to Mirror, Thomas Sr. has confirmed that he did drugs when Meghan was growing up to cope with the pressure that comes with working in Hollywood.
There's a good chance I might never see my grandchildren.
Even though he's not in the public eye as much as other members of his family, Thomas Markle Jr. has made some very extreme claims about Meghan. In a 2020 interview with New Idea, Thomas Jr. seemingly blamed the Duchess for more recent hardships in his life. He'd broken up with his partner, lost jobs, and was homeless. After calling the Markle name a curse, he went on to say, "Being associated with Meghan has nearly destroyed me. I am homeless and could have been under a bridge with a cardboard sign begging for money, but thankfully my mom has taken me in. Meghan could have helped me or got someone else at the palace to do so."
I feel a bit betrayed being, shoved off to the side like I don't exist.
He went on to call Prince Harry and Meghan hypocrites and added, "My family and I have all been blamed for making money, and now they're doing the same thing since stepping back from royal duties. The only difference is we're all broke." At this point, it might not come as a surprise that many of Meghan's family members have financial issues and have filed for bankruptcy. Vanity Fair reported that Thomas Markle Sr. did so in 2016, years after winning the lottery that potentially helped him pay for some of Meghan's college education. He had to file after poor investments and family feuds left him with no other choice. In 2018, The Blast reported that Thomas Sr. had filed for bankruptcy 3 times in total and lived off of a small retirement fund and Social Security payments. His older children followed in their father's footsteps and filed for bankruptcy in 2003 and 2012, respectively. Thomas Jr. said he had $10 to his name, but that he owed $88,000 in debt at the time, according to Vanity Fair. Royal fans most likely already know that Meghan is close to her mother, Doria Ragland. who doesn't seem to have as many dark secrets as her ex-husband. But Vanity Fair reported that Ragland also had to file for bankruptcy when a Los Angeles boutique she owned failed. There's a lengthy history of alleged abuse in Meghan's family that may explain some of the estrangement between them, and the extreme measures some of them have seemingly taken to get attention from the press. Meghan's half-sister, Samantha Markle, is an alleged abuser, according to her daughter, but she is also an alleged victim of domestic violence. In December 2020, the Daily Mail reported that Samantha's partner, Mark Phillips, was arrested on charges of domestic violence after hitting her in the face during a fight. He was taken into the Polk County Jail in Florida and released the same day. The couple reportedly began arguing because Samantha, who has multiple sclerosis, had personal care needs in the middle of the night that Phillips didn't want to help her with. He reportedly hit Samantha on the right side of her face in the ear area. He apparently fled the scene, but authorities later confirmed Phillips was the primary aggressor.
Who is Trevor Engelson? An entertainment industry insider who's now perhaps better known as Meghan Markle's ex-husband. Let's get to know the man who popped the question long before a certain Prince Harry came into the picture. Trevor Engelson started at the bottom. According to the book Meghan, a Hollywood Princess, Meghan Markle's ex-husband started working as a production assistant when he was still in high school in New York City, before studying at the Annenberg School of Cinematic Arts at USC. He graduated in 1998, and per Engelson's FX bio, his first job out of college was as an assistant on Deep Blue Sea in 1999. Since then, he's produced the rom-com License to Wed, the goofball Bradley Cooper and Sandra Bullock movie All About Steve, and the Robert Pattinson-led Remember Me. More recent projects include the FX series Snowfall and the controversial Heathers television reboot. In addition to TV and movie production, Engelson is also a talent agent, having opened his own agency after several jobs in the industry. Engelson has managed various talent at Underground Films, including screenwriters, novelists, actors, and directors in the Los Angeles area. The company also opened a New York office in 2012. Though Trevor Engelson and Meghan Markle were only married for 2 years, they were actually together for a long time before they tied the knot. The Sun reports that Engelson and his royal ex-wife first met in 2004 and dated for almost 7 years before they wed in September 2011. Prince Harry and Markle, meanwhile, got engaged after only about a year and a half of dating, and then had their fairy tale wedding at Windsor Castle just 6 months later.
Just an amazing surprise. It was so sweet and natural and very romantic. He got on one knee.
However, if The Sun is to be believed, Engelson and Markle's wedding sure did sound like a blast. According to the report, the nuptials took place over a span of 4 days in Jamaica, with the actual wedding taking place on the 3rd day. The couple apparently hosted parties that included everything from wheelbarrow races to drinking games on the beach. As for their actual ceremony, reportedly, the whole thing took just 15 minutes. A short ceremony in favor of days-long partying? That's pretty much every wedding guest's dream. Apparently, Trevor Engelson wasn't known to visit Meghan Markle when she was a briefcase model on Deal or No Deal while they were still together. In fact, according to Meghan, a Hollywood Princess, Engelson also skipped out on traveling with Markle during her downtime from filming because he was occupied with his own work as a producer.
Meghan, open the case.
Author Andrew Morton also alleged in the book that Markle was, at times, disappointed that Engelson didn't help get her cast in more of his projects, though he did get her a bit part in Remember Me in 2010, as well as a short film called The Candidate, in which she played a secretary and showcased her calligraphy skills. Meghan Markle and Trevor Engelson married the same year that her acting career took off with Suits, which allegedly proved to be their union's downfall. According to a source cited by Woman's Day, Meghan landed her role in Suits just a few months before they married. Trevor was based in LA while Meghan was in Toronto, a 5-hour flight away. It was a very difficult way to start married life. The duo reportedly turned to Skype and FaceTime to stay connected, but this apparently did little to improve the difficult situation. As another insider claimed to The Sun, Trevor was devastated at the split. She suddenly had no more time for him. Meghan broke Trevor's heart pure and simple. He is still in love with her, and so the revelation of her new relationship with Harry has hit him hard. In his biography of Meghan Markle, Meghan, a Hollywood princess, author Andrew Morton claimed that the Duchess of Sussex dumped ex-husband Trevor Engelson by mail after rising to middling fame on Suits. Morton wrote, Engelson went from cherishing Meghan to, as one friend observed, feeling like he was a piece of something stuck to the bottom of her shoe. A wealthy entrepreneur friend claimed the marriage ended so abruptly that Meghan sent Trevor her diamond wedding and engagement rings back by registered mail. Morton also wrote that as Meghan gained professional success, her personal life suffered, and the so-called Meghan chill extended to her friends as well. She reportedly left the home she and Engelson shared, taking a blender with her to move to Toronto to film Suits. He tried moving to be closer to her, but she still wanted out, allegedly because of his supposed, quote, scattered approach to life. In an ITV documentary on Meghan Markle called Prince Harry and Meghan Truly Madly Deeply, the Duchess's friend, actress Abby Wathan, claimed Markle simply felt the relationship with Trevor Engelson wasn't right for her anymore in light of her newfound success. As Wathan alleged, she always knew she would be successful. She just knew it. She knows what she wants and she gets it. We both went through divorce, so we bonded on that too. I was destroyed, but she was empowered. She took her power back. It wasn't the right relationship for her, so she moved on. A day before Meghan Markle's royal wedding to Prince Harry took place in May 2018, insiders revealed that Trevor Engelson was pretty sick of hearing about his ex on every news outlet. A source claimed to Us Weekly that the producer was, quote, skipping town ahead of the nuptials to avoid all the hoopla, but it's unclear where he was headed, just that it was out of the country. It's understandable that Engelson would feel the need to escape, since his Google alerts have likely been blowing up ever since Markle and Prince Harry's romance made headlines. According to another insider cited by The Sun, this attention on him since the Harry relationship is something he has loathed. He and Meghan are a world away from that Hollywood happy divorce declaration of conscious uncoupling, where people split up but remain friends, like Chris Martin and Gwyneth Paltrow. Trevor Engelson began to develop a series allegedly based on his divorce from Meghan Markle. In September 2017, Deadline reported that Engelson was working on a single-camera comedy with Modern Family executive producer Danny Zucker about a divorcee whose ex-wife marries a prince. While Engelson insisted at the time that it wasn't based on true events, it was likely at least slightly inspired by Markle's newfound fame as a royal. However, in May 2018, just before Markle's wedding to Prince Harry, The Sun reported that Markle's entertainment industry friends talked Engelson out of pursuing the project. A source claimed, the couple has barely spoken since their divorce, but she did reach out to him with Harry's agreement to thank him for not telling their story in public. Meghan Markle wasn't the only one to move on with a famous face. After she and Trevor Engelson divorced, he had something of a fling with the Real Housewives of New York alum Bethany Frankel. Frankel told the Kyle and Jackie O show in April 2018 that she met Engelson in Chicago and they went out just one time but kept texting. She claimed he revealed to her that he'd been previously married to, quote, this girl named Meghan Markle from the TV show Suits. At the time, Frankel said she had no idea who Markle was. When she later realized Markle and Prince Harry were dating, Frankel said she and Engelson began texting again and they later collaborated on a pilot. Trevor Engelson remarried, tying the knot with a beautiful blonde nutritionist named Tracy Kurland. A source told The Sun that Engelson met Kurland through mutual friends and that they first began dating in 2017. Kurland is based in Los Angeles and used to intern for 12th Street, a fashion retailer that, fun fact, Pippa Middleton reportedly loves. The pair got engaged in May 2018, just weeks after Meghan Markle and Prince Harry tied the knot, Us Weekly reported. Engelson apparently made the announcement on his private Instagram page, captioning a photo with Kurland, who was sporting a brand new sparkler on that finger with, luckiest guy I know, get ready to party. The happy couple later got hitched in May 2019, less than a week after Markle and Prince Harry welcomed their son, Archie. Despite their apparent bitter split, Trevor Engelson won't badmouth Meghan Markle now that she's one of the most famous women on the planet, even when allegedly being offered upwards of $1 million for a tell-all on his ex. He hasn't commented on the Duchess of Sussex publicly and maintains a low profile, with all of his social media accounts set to private. When the Daily Mail caught up with him outside a Los Angeles hair salon following the bombshell Megxit announcement that January, he politely declined to comment. The silence on the matter reportedly extends into his private life as well. Meghan Markle has had an amazing life, but some details aren't quite as magical as they may seem. Here's a look at the shady side of Meghan Markle. In December 2017, news broke that Meghan Markle's estranged half-sister Samantha Markle was gearing up to release a tell-all book focused on spilling some family secrets. In an interview with The Sun, Samantha revealed, "Meghan's a social climber. Hollywood has changed her. I think her ambition is to become a princess. The royal family would be appalled by what she's done to her own family." Samantha also complained that Meghan all but forgot about her after gaining high society status. However, according to E! News, a person close to the family says Samantha can't be trusted. The source revealed, "Samantha Markle doesn't have a relationship with Meghan Markle, and she never has. Meghan has never done anything to her and continues to take the high road." It's also worth noting that it isn't just Samantha who thinks Meghan's completely different these days. One of the Duchess's former friends told the Daily Mail, "The person I knew is not there anymore. There's Meghan before fame and Meghan after fame." In their BBC engagement interview, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry revealed that they'd met on a blind date. Meghan explained,
"Because I'm from the States, you don't grow up with the same understanding of the royal family."
She continued, "And so while I now understand very clearly there's a global interest there, I didn't know much about him." However, one of Meghan's former friends told a very different story and revealed to the Daily Mail, "I know the royal family was something she found fascinating. She had one of Princess Diana's books on her bookshelf, and even when she was with Trevor, she told me she wanted to go and stay in London for at least a month. I wasn't shocked or even surprised to hear about Prince Harry. I know she used to love the Princess Diaries." Meghan Markle's relationship with her family was a hot topic in the run-up to her wedding. Her husband-to-be inadvertently caused a stink by making a comment about Meghan's newfound connection with the royal family. He told BBC Radio 4, "It's the family that I suppose she's never had." Prince Harry's comment hurt the Markles, who hit back, with Meghan's half-brother Thomas Markle Jr. telling the Daily Mail, "She's had a really good family. We were as close as we could be." However, it's difficult to know what the truth really is. It's also worth noting that Meghan's dad, Thomas Markle, admitted to telling lies about his daughter in the press. In a Channel 5 documentary, Thomas revealed, "I said they called me back and they were really concerned about me, and I said, 'Go on your honeymoon, don't worry about me, I'll be fine.' And that was all a lie." In December 2017, gossip emerged that Markle was on the shortlist for a role in the next James Bond movie. At the time, a source told The Sun, "Meghan fits the role of a Bond girl perfectly." However, blind gossip refuted this claim, with a source suggesting that Meghan was never in the running and the rumours were simply stirred up for publicity. When Meghan Markle's relationship with Prince Harry was finally revealed, one of her childhood friends decided to give an interview to the Daily Mail. Calling out the Duchess for her supposedly opportunistic ways, the former friend revealed, "All I can say now is that I think Meghan was calculated, very calculated in the way she handled people and relationships. She is very strategic in the way she cultivates circles of friends. Once she decides you're not part of her life, she can be very cold." Meanwhile, biographer Penny Junor, the author of Prince Harry, Brother, Soldier, Son, Husband, claimed that Meghan's love of fame would likely help her relationship with the royal family, even if it destroyed some friendships. Junor told The Express, "One of the advantages of Meghan is because she is in the public eye. She likes that. The real problem with Harry's girlfriends in the past is that they absolutely hated the media attention, and that scared them off. Because Meghan's an actress, she's out there selling herself anyway. That's part and parcel of her business and her career." Meghan Markle is said to have spent a lot of time in London following her split from Trevor Engelson. The actress reportedly struck up a friendship with local TV personality Lizzie Cundy after they attended a charity dinner. According to Cundy, Markle was keen to find a new man, but she allegedly had two conditions. Firstly, Meghan apparently wanted her new man to be English, and he also had to be famous. In her 2019 tell-all Tales from the Red Carpet, Cundy wrote, "We were having a girly chat, and then she said, 'Do you know any famous guys? I'm single and I really love English men.' So I said, 'We'll go out and find you someone.'"
She loved London. She said, "I love the way you say darling and babe."
Sources close to X Factor winner Matt Cardle claim Markle quietly slid into his DMs in 2015, but the singer reportedly stopped replying after meeting somebody else. Her Instagram interaction with Cardle allegedly took place just months before she started dating Harry, according to The Sun. Unfortunately, once Meghan started seeing Harry, she apparently had no use for Cundy anymore, as the author revealed. I texted saying, "Oh my god, I heard about Harry," and she was like, "Yeah, I know, we'll try and hook up." She was probably told by the palace to end contact with people she befriended in the media. I was literally ghosted by her. To the millions watching around the world, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry's wedding appeared to be a flawless fairy tale, but reports suggest that it wasn't exactly smooth sailing behind the scenes. According to the Daily Mail, the American got a lot of British backs up when she requested that air fresheners be deployed at her wedding because the smell inside St. George's Chapel displeased her. According to one royal insider, apparently Meghan didn't like the smell of the chapel, which, as you would expect, is a little musty. It's not unpleasant at all though, it just smells how you would expect an old building to smell. St. George's Chapel is a very old building, having been an important place of worship for the British monarchy since 1475. Understandably, it might not always smell that fresh. As an insider told the Daily Mail, Meghan wanted staff to go around with these atomizers like spritzer guns and spray the chapel with scent before anyone arrived. Royal household staff stepped in and told her office politely but firmly that this was the Queen's chapel and it simply wasn't appropriate. I don't believe a request of that nature had been made before. Most brides would be ecstatic at the thought of walking down the aisle wearing a diamond and platinum bandeau tiara handpicked by the Queen herself. But according to insiders, Meghan Markle wanted to choose her own. Household insiders reported that Prince Harry's bride-to-be made it clear which headpiece she wanted to wear on her big day, and things apparently got a little tense when her idea was shot down. As a royal source told The Sun, Meghan had her heart set on this tiara with emeralds, and Prince Harry hit the roof when they were told it was impossible for her to wear it. The provenance of the tiara could not be established. There were concerns it could have come from Russia originally. When news of Markle's alleged behaviour reached the Queen, Her Majesty reportedly decided to give her grandson a good talking to. The insider told The Sun, "There was a very heated exchange that prompted the Queen to speak to Harry. She said, 'Meghan cannot have whatever she wants. She gets what tiara she's given by me.' The message from the Queen was very much Meghan needed to think about how she speaks to staff members and to be careful to follow family protocols." According to the source, the Queen also struck a low blow during the discussion and questioned why Meghan needed to wear a traditional wedding veil given it was her second marriage. Rumours of an ongoing feud between Meghan Markle and her sister-in-law began to swirl after it emerged that the Duke and Duchess of Sussex would be moving out of Kensington Palace. Tabloids claimed Kate Middleton had snapped at Meghan after she caught the former actress speaking rudely to someone on her staff. The palace denied this in a statement, which raised a few eyebrows among royal commentators. Royal expert Angela Mollard told New Ideas podcast, "It's fairly unprecedented for them to speak out in this way, and I think what Kensington Palace is wanting to do is to detract from this rift that's happening. Obviously, the Queen is in the golden era of her reign. She wants a cohesive royal family." The press has continued to dig into the allegedly splintered relationship between the two duchesses. There were rumours that the rift began in the run-up to Meghan and Harry's wedding. Princess Charlotte was one of the stars of the wedding, but it was claimed that her mother, Kate Middleton, was left in tears after an argument broke out during a fitting for her daughter's bridesmaid dress. Of the alleged incident, an insider told The Telegraph, Kate had only just given birth to Prince Louis and was feeling quite emotional. It seems that Meghan's road to the altar was anything but smooth. It's not often that people with top positions in the royal household give up their posts, so when three walk out in quick succession, rumours are inevitable. In May 2019, it was revealed that Meghan Markle's right-hand woman, Amy Pickerel, was leaving, making her the third member of the Duchess's staff to quit within a matter of months. A royal insider confirmed to the Daily Mail, "Amy is leaving. It's very sad for her colleagues as she is a really popular member of staff." Pickerel was expected to stay on and succeed Markle's private secretary Samantha Cohen, who, after 17 years with the royal family, also left her post. Markle's personal assistant also quit her job and caused a stir when she bolted less than 6 months after Meghan and Harry's wedding. Apparently, Meghan's personal assistant couldn't handle the stress of the job. As a source told The Mirror, she put up with quite a lot. Meghan put a lot of demands on her, and it ended up with her in tears.
It's hard.
Meghan Markle's relationship with Prince Harry seemed to have all the hallmarks of a real-life fairy tale when it first started blossoming, but it might actually have been more of a love triangle. Before she hooked up with her red-headed prince, Meghan was dating renowned Canadian chef Corey Vitiello, and reports have suggested that there may have been an overlap between the two relationships. Rumours started to fly when an eagle-eyed royal fan noticed that Vanity Fair had edited its cover story at Meghan's request, with the editor writing, "The sentence regarding the first time Markle met Prince Harry has been amended." Markle told Vanity Fair that the couple met in July 2016. The original article stated that the Sussexes had met in May 2016. According to The Telegraph, Meghan Markle was still dating a Canadian chef when she reportedly met the prince for the first time. It has emerged Meghan had been in a relationship with Corey Vitiello for 2 years when they broke up in May, the month the prince is understood to have asked for her phone number after meeting her at a function. When the Daily Mail asked Vitiello if he was still dating Meghan when she met Harry, he replied, "I've got a lot of respect for Meghan, and from my end, to make it seem like I'm part of the story would seem self-serving and opportunistic. I'm pleased for Meghan. She's a great girl. There is no bitterness. I respect people's private and personal lives." Right or wrong, Meghan Markle was widely blamed when the Sussexes announced they were going to step back from royal life and branch out on their own in January 2020. Express columnist Virginia Blackburn wrote, "Meghan didn't understand that being a Windsor is not like being a celebrity. And it wasn't just the Brits who were unhappy about Megxit either. Canadian millionaire Kevin O'Leary told Tatler, "When they are ex-royals, they become much less interesting. I think Meghan got him into a bad place, and maybe she should do a little soul-searching. She knew what she was getting into when she married him." Many people even seem to think that Megxit was Meghan's plan all along. According to Page 6, Markle put some of her clothes in a Toronto storage facility prior to her wedding, but she never shipped them to England. An insider claimed that Meghan had the items delivered to her and Prince Harry's rented property on Vancouver Island when they arrived in Canada following their announcement that they planned to step down from their royal roles. As for why the Duchess kept all of those clothes in storage for 2 years, it might be that Meghan knew she'd be returning to Canada and that her move to England was never permanent. We might never know if Meghan Markle had some form of Megxit in mind when she married Prince Harry, but according to someone who knows her personally, shedding her skin and starting over is a habit of hers. An old acquaintance of Meghan's wrote for Tatler, "Something that has stayed with me, especially post-Megxit, is that Meghan is no stranger to picking up and reinventing herself. Both a go-getter as well as a shapeshifter, she returns now with more social mojo than she could ever have imagined then." By March 2020, Markle was already unleashing that social mojo on Los Angeles, where she and Harry moved after leaving England and Canada behind. As the Duchess grew up in California, she likely already feels at home following the transatlantic move. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle shocked everyone when they revealed they were stepping back as senior royals in a bombshell statement. And according to senior palace sources, even Queen Elizabeth was surprised by the news. Her Majesty reportedly had no idea her grandson was about to ditch royalty in favour of a quieter life in North America, but after a period of negotiation, she accepted the decision. However, she did lay down some rules for the Sussexes moving forward, including banning them from using the word royal in their private endeavours. This was a bit of a slap in the face for the couple, considering that they'd already named their brand Sussex Royal. While the couple agreed to the Queen's terms, they seemed to throw some shade at the royal family over some of the new rules. A few months after their initial announcement, a new statement on the couple's website seemed to want to make it clear that the Queen doesn't own the word royal. It read, "While there is not any jurisdiction by the monarchy over the use of the word royal overseas, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex do not intend to use Sussex Royal or any iteration of the word royal in any territory."
This family's been so welcoming.
Meghan and Harry also appeared to take aim at Princess Eugenie and Princess Beatrice and said, "While there is a precedent for other titled members of the royal family to seek employment outside of the institution, for the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, a 12-month review period has been put in place. The York sisters have both been allowed to work while keeping their titles, and this seemingly snarky remark seems to prove that Harry and Meghan expected a similar arrangement." Now that Meghan Markle is stateside, she's apparently been dishing about Prince Harry's side of the family. And according to the Duchess, life was a little frosty in the royal family. In March 2020, a source spoke to the Daily Mail about Meghan and Harry's final trip to England as senior royals, and said, "Meghan said the trip has been a confirmation that they made the right choice in parting ways. There's no warmth between the family members, and she wants to raise Archie in a household that is filled with laughter and joy and lots of hugs." And Meghan's sister-in-law, Kate Middleton, is reportedly the biggest culprit, with the source revealing, It's still weird to Meghan that no one hugs and that everyone is so uptight, especially Kate. She said it's obvious that Kate and William do not approve of their choices and that you could cut the tension with a knife. Kate barely even looked at her, and their interaction was kept to a bare minimum.
Meghan Markle and Prince Harry have been increasingly plagued by controversy from the start of their fairy tale romance. Every decision the actress-turned-duchess makes is heavily scrutinized, and Markle can't seem to do anything right, at least in the eyes of her fiercest critics. When it comes to fashion, Meghan Markle keeps shunning sartorial rules normally applied to the royal family. It all started when she decided to go bare-legged during her engagement announcement press conference. While royal expert Marlene Koenig told Harper's Bazaar, quote, "There are no rules for royal women regarding pantyhose," fellow expert Victoria Arbiter had the opposite opinion. She told Express, "You never see a royal without their nude stockings. I would say that's really the only hard, steadfast rule in terms of what the Queen requires."
Oh my God, it's crazy.
Since then, Markle has broken so many supposed fashion rules, including wearing dark nail polish, which OK says is considered vulgar in the royal household. She also wore a hat to Wimbledon, even though the event's official website states ladies are asked not to wear hats, and chose French designers over British ones for key events. In February 2019, Markle jetted off to New York City for a top-secret and very over-the-top baby shower with several high-profile guests bearing gifts. According to Vanity Fair, the lavish do at the Mark Hotel was organized and paid for by Serena Williams and cost a whopping $200,000. Critics wasted no time calling out the hefty price tag, as well as the very American aspect of the bash. As royal commentator Victoria Arbiter told Today, customarily, the Brits don't do baby showers. We tend to give gifts after the baby is born. According to Vanity Fair, embracing the U.S. custom was, quote, "yet another way of her showing that she plans to do things her own way, royal or not." What's more, the wealthy royals are funded by taxpayer dollars, and so, as Arbiter told ABC News, a baby shower is considered by some to be highly inappropriate. Adding to the controversy was the fact that Markle was reportedly warned against going ahead with the outlandish affair, but chose to ignore the advice. When Markle attended Wimbledon in July 2019 to cheer on her friend Serena Williams, she enraged British media when she allegedly asked her security team to forbid fellow spectators from taking photos of her. Outlets across the UK had a field day with the news. The Telegraph's Alison Pearson wrote, "It's time Meghan was taught a well-known British phrase. Get over yourself, love." Good Morning Britain host Piers Morgan called it a complete joke and noted, "It's frankly hypocritical, and they're not private people, they're the Duke and Duchess of Sussex." Media consultant Sally Jones revealed in a Telegraph article that a security guard tapped her on the shoulder and asked her to stop taking photos of Markle. She wrote, "No wonder there is a growing tide of resentment against the Sussexes for their secretive, high-maintenance attitude and diva-ish demands for privacy when it suits them." Just a few weeks after telling British Vogue they wouldn't have more than 2 kids for environmental reasons, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex were in hot water for their repeated use of private jets. When it was revealed the pair had taken 4 private jets in 11 days in August 2019 alone, the media showed no mercy. According to Express, Prince Harry tried to justify the flights, saying, "I spend 99% of my life traveling the world by commercial. Occasionally, there needs to be an opportunity to fly privately based on a unique circumstance to ensure that my family are safe." Unfortunately for him, the Daily Mail was quick to note that 6 of the 10 trips he had taken since his wedding had been private, nowhere near 99%. As for Markle, she wasn't in the least bit fazed and reportedly didn't see fit to justify her choices. An insider told Vanity Fair, "She's moving on and riding above the storm. She's not wasting time or energy on the row over the private jets." While Markle is by no means the first ever royal to guest edit a magazine, it seems that every single decision the Duchess of Sussex makes is steeped in controversy. Almost as soon as it was announced that Markle had agreed to guest edit the September 2019 issue of British Vogue, critics took aim. The Sun, for one, accused her of, quote, "wading into politics by promoting Trump-hating celebs," while Piers Morgan wrote in the Daily Mail, Meghan Markle's shamelessly hypocritical super woke Vogue stunt proves she cares more about promoting herself than the royal family or Britain." Then there was The Times, which criticized her for highlighting individuals in the issue who are, quote, associated with causes that are deeply divisive. Plus, journalist Dan Wooten, who called the decision idiotic and argued, remember, Meghan doesn't want to be a celebrity. She says she wants to be a royal. Royals don't guest edit magazines. Celebrities guest edit magazines. Every year, the Queen traveled to Scotland to spend the late summer at Balmoral Castle, and throughout her stay, she received visits from the rest of the royal family. When she made the trip in 2019, Markle and Prince Harry declined her invitation to visit for the second year in a row. According to the Daily Mail's Jan Moir, this was a bold stance against tradition. She wrote, "It might seem extraordinary that Harry would not want to visit his 93-year-old grandmother with his new baby, a Balmoral rite of passage that is a staunch tradition within the family." An unnamed source tried to argue that the couple wasn't snubbing the Queen, but rather were simply too busy with work. The insider said they were back having meetings at Kensington Palace from early August, with just 2 short breaks in between, and are busy preparing for their official trip to Africa, which starts this month. However, the real reasons seem to have more to do with friendship preferences rather than an overbooked schedule. As it turns out, Markle found time in her busy schedule to fly to New York to watch friend Serena Williams play at the US Open. As a royal source told Best Life, Meghan has made it quite clear that cultivating her relationships with her celebrity friends is more important to her than fulfilling her role as a royal. In November 2019, Markle gave an extremely candid interview to The Telegraph, in which she allowed reporter Bryony Gordon to follow her around for a day of charity work and told her, quote, how vulnerability is one of humanity's greatest strengths. The Daily Beast dubbed the intimate exchange a major breach of protocol, explaining that the royal family usually forbids its members from participating in one-on-one newspaper interviews. That's not the only reason why Markle's choice was a strange one, however. As the Daily Beast pointed out, her messaging has never lined up with the Telegraph's. In fact, the paper has often dragged her, reporting that she and Prince Harry, quote, may be suffering from generational difference, calling out their need to decide whether they are cut out for royalty, and even claiming that Markle is forcing Prince Harry to pick between her and his duty to the country. Making a habit of speaking candidly about their lives, Markle and her husband agreed to star in an ITV documentary called Meghan and Harry: An African Journey. In it, Markle let loose about the hardships of being a royal and life in the spotlight.
I really tried to adopt this British sensibility of a stiff upper lip. What that does internally is probably really damaging.
According to experts, agreeing to the documentary was not a smart move. Calling it a big mistake, royal biographer Penny Dooner told People why it could backfire. She explained, the royal family has always in the past very successfully pursued this policy of keeping their head down and saying nothing. I think that is a dignified way of dealing with problems, but it's not the American way, and that's the real problem. It's fine to speak to someone in private, a therapist, but don't spill your soul in public. I don't think it works.